Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee meeting is now called to order. Janine, would you please call the roll?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Castleberry.
Here.
Ms. Conwell. Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
There is a quorum.
Janine, has anyone signed in for public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one has signed in.
All right. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to approve our minutes for the November 19th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The minutes are approved. We have 3 items on our agenda today, and Janine, if you would read our first one into the record.
Resolution number 2025-0328, approving the Metro Health System's policies and procedures to participate in one or more joint purchasing associations for the purpose of acquiring supplies, equipment, and services provided through joint purchasing arrangements to achieve beneficial purchasing arrangements for calendar year 2026 in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 339.05.
All right, well, this is one of those routine items we see quite regularly. Would you please introduce yourself? Who?
Mike Jones, Executive Director of Supply Chain at Metro Health. Any questions?
I'll take one if you don't.
Excuse me, Mr. Sweeney, can you make sure your mic is
Got my
on?
microphone. See, you've started a trend. Mr. Chairman, because I know with the state contracts, they buy trucks and salt and stuff. What would be doing on a joint? This is part of a state contract, a county contract?
Group purchasing organization. We partner with Premier. There's only 3 in the healthcare market today. There's Premier, Vizient, and Health Trust. A lot of the goods that we purchase through Premier are all the medical supplies to support patient care.
Okay, so who would you be going, just joint with that one person, that one entity, and they have a whole bunch of other folks that join them?
So what they do is they have a forum where they bid out all of their contracts, right? And all the suppliers, like if you guys may be familiar with Stryker, Medtronic, those are suppliers that are on contract that we can use under this resolution as under a contracting authority for Metro Health as a public entity.
Well, thank you very much. Can't wait to learn a little bit more about it.
Other questions? As the councilman said, some are new, and maybe just to elaborate a little more about the contract, just so those who have not experienced it just have a fuller understanding of what this contract is about.
So a group purchasing contract allows us as an institution to leverage clinical goods contracts and services to support the health system. This is a contract that went out to public bid. We did this in 2022 for a renewal to improve our terms. There's share back fees that are associated with this that substantially help the organization.
How long have we been entering into this joint agreement?
Since 2022, it's a 5-year agreement, so it was the end of 22, so that'll take us through to 2028.
Are you able to calculate how much, or have a sense of how much savings you have through this contract?
So, estimating our share back fees are above $2 million.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Are there any other questions?
Just a
Councilwoman
comment for new members' benefit that we're required by the state legislature to pass this authorization once a year. We can only authorize it a year at a time, so that means it comes back to us every year about this time for the upcoming year.
Conwell?
And through the chair, to Mr. Jones, this covers all of the metro agencies and hospital settings, the total purchasing for.
Yeah, it would cover substantially a majority of spend, but we do have other contracts that we go out directly to the market because we can't identify a service or a supplier within the GPO. So we still have to go out to public bid for those.
Okay, thank you.
There there are no further questions, we will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman. I move that Resolution 2025-0328 be favorably reported to the full council with a recommendation for passage on second reading suspension.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Council.
Resolution number 2025-0335, amending Resolution number 2024-0187, which declared public convenience and welfare requires the reconstruction of Lee Road by changing the termini from Invermere Avenue to the North Corporation Line to Throckley Avenue to the North Corporation Line in the cities of Cleveland and Shaker Heights.
Morning, Eric Mack, Public Works. So back in June of 2024, we were here and we presented welfare and convenience for the Lee Road project. And we've been working on that project since then. And as part of it, we are going to replace the water line as well as add a multi-use trail and reconstruct the road. Through this design process, we have realized that we have to extend it one block further south into Cleveland. So from Invermere down to Throckley, which is approximately 340 feet further, the water line has to connect into the next manhole accordingly. As part of that as well, we are going to transition from the new pavement to the existing pavement, which is in Cleveland, and that's a different width. There is another project coming in a year and a half that is the Cleveland side. So this is a temporary condition for this one block. The next project that will be done will have a new trail as well as the road reconstructed. So this is a temporary condition in order to install the water line. There will be no changes to the cost of the project, and so it's still an 80-10-10 split. Federally 80 sponsored and then 10 and 10 locally. Additionally, NOACA and ODOT have accepted this update because it makes sense that you have to connect to the water where you can. And I'd entertain any questions.
Through the chair to Mr. Mack. So when will this project be done?
So this project is going to sell this spring, and they'll start the summer of '26, and it is a 2-year project, so it'll be done the fall of '28.
So will the city of Cleveland's project intertwine in
It will overlap. We are, as soon as we get this project sold that is mostly in Shaker, we are coming right behind it and selling the Cleveland portion down to Miles Road. So the Cleveland portion is going to be sold in the spring of the fall of '27. So there will be that overlap between this the year of '28. There will be overlap between the two projects.
The city of Cleveland part won't be dealing with the water.
They're trying to figure out what they're going to do, whether or not they want to replace the water line. They have not determined that yet.
And that water line, I'm just trying to ascertain that it's not going to overdo any work that's already been done
No.
that we pay for.
No,
Okay,
once the water line's in, it will not be ripped back out to be replaced later.
Okay.
We tried to rip up the road once and fix all the utilities and not go back and fix them.
And that's always been an issue with city of Cleveland. A road will get done and
Something
then you
breaks.
have to go down.
Which is what we're trying to work with them, and that's why Shaker wanted to replace their portion of their water line, because they don't want to open a brand-new road that costs $25 million and then have to replace a water line for several $1 million after this road was just completed.
Through the chair, the NOACA portion, have they kind of approved the city of Cleveland's portion thus far too?
Yes, yeah, everything is, federally speaking, through NOACA, everything is moving along nicely.
Thank you.
Councilman,
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mack. Appreciate you being there. So it's kind of touched a little bit. What I was curious, you said that it's a temporary, was it 240, 340 feet?
340 feet, and it's temporary as in the pavement because it's going to transition. So it's just like an asphalt wearing surface through that one block, because the second project that's coming a year after is going to be a full depth replacement of their section.
That's why I was curious about what the materials were. So it's asphalt, but it's just a temporary layer, and then
Yeah,
you're
it's gonna look like a new road, but it's gonna just be a 3-inch mill and fill on top.
Okay.
And then the following project is going to come back through and make it permanent.
Yeah, but the water lines, everything
Water
will be
line
intact.
underneath, everything.
And I'm just making for clarification, it's not my district, but one of the things you always hear is people see that and they just tore this up last year, what are they doing? So I just want to make sure I had a full understanding of that's temporary for that 340 feet.
These two projects are each over $20 million. So, and they're butting up to one another. So there's going to be that middle zone, wherever it is going to, people are going to say, well, I thought we just did that. Well, you did it as part of that project, and now you're doing it part of that project. So it's difficult sometimes for the public to understand that it's one block that we're going to have to do something to.
I appreciate the explanation. It makes sense. It's a tough, you have to make the transition somewhere, and I understand.
And we were going to leave it further north where like Invamere is, but the water line, it made sense to go that extra distance and stop. And we're doing this standing and getting this approval for you because then all of the agreements have the proper limits. And there's not a difference like we're stopping at Invamere. We're going to go to Throckley.
So, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mack, how are we able to build this one block temporary roadway without increasing the project cost?
There is a contingency put on the construction estimate right now, and it's, I believe it's $1 million to $1.5 million, and that cost will be wrapped into that contingency.
So, for that one block area, when Cleveland comes in with their portion, are they going to have to tear out the temporary surface to build the permanent surface?
Portions of it, because they are going to install a bike trail along the west side. So the pavement that was on the west side that was road is now going to be a bike trail. That portion will have to be removed accordingly. But the east portion that nothing is happening, we can maintain that pavement. So.
Any further questions? Not, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
And seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Eric. And this is for second reading suspension. Okay. Oh, you say it can go 3 readings? Okay. All right. The motion for 3 readings. Been moved by the first, and second is still in place. So again, 3-4 readings. Our last item.
Resolution number 2025-0336, making an award on requisition number 16269 to Trumbull Construction, doing business as RBT Roofing, in the amount not to exceed $5,364,470 for the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Building Roof Replacement Project.
Good morning. Matt Reimer with the Department of Public Works. I do have a one-slide visual aid to support my presentation. This project is part of our capital improvement plan and one of our major projects to be awarded this year. We first attempted bids on this in the spring of 2025. We received no bids. Went through an extensive redesign process, rebid it in October, and did receive 6 bids. 1 did withdraw, so 5 total bids reviewed for consideration. This contract recommended at just over $5.3 million. The engineer's estimate was $6.2 million, so we are underneath the engineer's estimate at the time of bid. You can see in the visual aid, you're looking at the medical examiner building out at Cedar and just past 105th, just past Cleveland Clinic there, main campus. We're doing about 27,000 square feet of roof system replacement. The main roof system is in the inner rectangle that you can see there with all the mechanical equipment on this aerial photo. That's above the 6th floor of the medical examiner facility where a lot of the autopsy procedures are conducted. And then that's bordered by a 5th floor roof system, which is at the same level as a lot of the specialty laboratory systems at the medical examiner facility. And then the curved roof section, which is a lower roof section to the right, that's above the receiving area where ambulances and funeral homes come in and out for intake and departure. So we're replacing all those roof systems on the building. The need for the project was identified through the county's risk assessment process through our insurance provider, and then backed up by assessments done during our design phase that showed the roof is past its useful life. We will be ripping off the entire roof systems down to the concrete deck and then rebuilding them back up with a torch-applied system. We will also be doing a lot of mechanical system work. We're going to be replacing the building's cooling tower, which has failed numerous times in the last couple of years. We will be replacing some storage, freezer, and cooler unit, condensing units, which are rooftop mounted. And we'll also be providing a temporary air handler system that'll be in the north lawn, which is off the top of the page, that'll intercept the building's duct system that can supply adequate cooling while we interrupt the system to do all that work. We're expected to have a 5-month construction duration. Once we start, we have to be very cognizant of the seasons here with the cooling, and we want to take advantage of the spring shoulder season before we get into the heat of the summer. As far as the bid effort, as I mentioned, we had 5 bidders at the end of the day. One dropped out, as I mentioned, and this was the lowest, and it was fully compliant bid. Happy to answer any of your questions.
Okay. Councilwoman?
Through the chair to Mr. Reimer, when was the last roof work done? It seems like the medical examiner's building has been in front of us. Or, you know, I sit on this committee from the beginning, so.
Yes, we have extensive work at that facility. I will get you exact details. I believe it's 1950s construction with the county doing an extensive rehab in the early 90s. I don't have a record of us doing a major roof replacement, I believe, since that time. So I will, but I'll get you the exact dates on any roof work that has happened on that
Through
building.
the chair, do we own the building?
We do. We do have a major tenant in the building, University Hospitals, but we do own the building and we're the predominant occupant.
Final question, through the chair, have we used Trumbull Construction before?
We have not. This is a new bidder for us. We reviewed them extensively. They have done dozens of major roof projects throughout the country, specifically to U.S. Postal Service facilities, Navy and Army Corps of Engineers facilities, and other federal building through the General Services Administration.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you for your presentation today. So you mentioned the first time you put this out to bid, no one bid on it, and then it was redesigned, the entire project, or what would you?
Through the chair to Councilman Castleberry, yes, we believe that the complexity of maintaining temporary cooling systems during the roof replacement to keep the medical examiner in operation was significantly undervalued in the original bid and thus drove bidders away. We regrouped on that specific portion of the design and got successfully with 5 bidders coming back.
Understood. And that, yeah, I was kind of curious of what was the main thing that you felt kept them away. Through the chair, so with the temporary cooling and replacing some of the cooling and the condensers, now is that part of this scope or that's a separate bid?
It is part of the project and part of the bid. We did have 3 alternates, which we're recommending award within the value that you see in the legislation. It is for the cooling tower, as I mentioned, for the condensing units that I mentioned, and for a lightning protection system, which is certainly a great risk mitigation issue. And those alternate bid items came under the estimate as well. Those are all included in the $5.3 million recommended contract award.
Okay, understood. So this company, the Trumbull Construction, I'm assuming if are they more of a general or a roofing contract? Are they doing the complete scope of work? Are they, assume, subbing this out to some of the?
So they are a roofing construction company. We would anticipate through our review that they'll be doing primarily the roofing scope, and they will subcontract the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing work that is, which would be typical in this scenario.
That would be my understanding, but I just wanted to make sure, just based on that, our conversation. Thank you.
Matt, can you repeat the winners? For, I'm sorry, the not the winners, but the mechanicals that you said were being replaced.
Yes, the cooling tower, if you look at the diagram that I have, the 4 large fan units that you can see on the bottom of the page on that south end of the roof structure, that's the cooling tower. That dissipates the heat of, producing chilled water to go throughout the building, pretty typical of a building this size. That needs to be replaced in full. It is past its useful life as well, and in order to do that, we're taking down the cooling system, thus the need for the temporary cooling system, and while we replace that unit. In addition, some of the other condensing units, which are the long gray with circular fans, those provide the condensing for cool water for the freezer and cooler facilities that are on the upper floors. Some of those need to be replaced as well, and we're doing that work while we're performing the roof work.
So, Mr. Chair, to Mr. Reimer, who was the next highest bidder and for how much was the highest bid?
Yes, all the other bidders were beyond the ORC acceptable range for bids. They were above the estimate, which was at $6.209 million, and so all those bidders, the next lowest was $7.605 million. 7.651 million, and then 8.9 million.
To Matt, has Trumbull ever bid with us before?
They have not. Our roof manufacturer's representative from did do some research with us as well, and they've performed successfully on all the similar type of roof systems that they've done throughout the country.
So we're fortunate that they bid on this.
We are, certainly from a savings. We certainly hope that all things have been accounted for. They did qualify their bid, so we're anxious to get started and hopefully for a successful project.
And when we send out the bid documents,
Yes,
do we share what the engineer's estimate is?
we do.
We do?
We do.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think you finished? What do you think the reason was for a zero response when it first went out, when the bid first went out?
I believe that it was due to the complexity of setting up the temporary cooling system, and we were vague in that requirement and vague in the requirements to keep the medical examiner operation in full operation during the project. I believe that complexity and lack of guidance scared bidders away, and we clarified that extensively through the redesign, which resulted in successful bids.
I have one further question.
Go right ahead.
Did we do anything special to reach out and find Trumbull Construction and interest them in this project, or did we just kind of send this out into the universe, and we were fortunate that they picked up on it?
Through the chair to Council President, we did not do anything special. We followed our normal process, other than it having a lot of exposure from the original bid event and then having to bid it again. We did not do anything special. We have a general bidders list that gets automatically pushed to a lot of different general contractors throughout the county and those that have bid on our work before, and then published through the Department of Purchasing procedures. And that's the extent of what we did here. They came in on their own.
And where are they located?
They're home based out of Texarkana, Texas. I'm sorry, Texarkana, Texas. But do
Okay.
nationwide work.
Okay.
They have some local satellite here, or?
They have done work in Ohio based on the review of their company portfolio. I don't know, we won't know yet until the contract award what their full subcontracting profile will look like, if they'll end up using local subcontractors or other vendors. So we'll see that during the pre-construction process.
Mr. Chairman, one more question, if I may. Were there any affirmative action goals on this project, and with what result?
We did have diversity goals on this. I believe it was 25% in total, 4, 16, and 25 MBE, SBE, MBE, WBE in that order of the 4, 16, 25. There was, on this bidder, they were fully compliant with the good faith effort process and requested a full waiver. So there were not any goals attained, at least during the pre-bid phase. With respect to the other bidders, again, which cannot be considered because their price was too high per ORC, but one was an MBE prime. Let's see here. One that withdrew was also an MBE prime. And bidder number 4, 0% participation, but compliant with the good faith effort. Bidder number 5 had approximately a partial meeting of the requirements and otherwise compliant with the good faith effort. And that's per DEI review. So, okay.
What were the goals again?
4, let me just, I'm going off memory. Let me pull that page and give you the correct ones. 6% SBE, 14% MBE, and 5% WBE.
Okay, and they met none of the goals.
Correct. They met with the waiver request and the good faith effort process.
They
which
give a
is- which
reason
is
as to
part of-
why they were unable to
Yes, I don't want to speak for Director Lockett's branch, but they do review the reasons why in the good faith effort, and it's noted on the bid tabulation that people did not quote due to the busy nature of the timing of their bid. That doesn't mean we won't have participation. We'll see what their subcontracting actually looks like post-award, but for pre-bid, they did not get respondents through their good faith effort to try and identify those.
take us through your, a little transparency on the process that you have internally with Lenore Lockett as she
Sure.
checks off or validates or?
Sure. When a bid, in this case scenario, this is a request for bid format, pretty formal. And when that comes in through the Department of Purchasing goes through an administrative compliance check for bid bonds and all the other things that are required of a bid of this size. And they make their notes. They make their notes with respect to any Cuyahoga County Business Match Program participation and those type of programs. And so they evaluate all that. The Department of Equity and Inclusion, which has a substantial specification requirement within our bid documents, evaluates that program and their responses to that through the forms and the data that is supposed to be provided with the bid, which was provided in this case. They evaluate compliance or non-compliance with the diversity manual that is in the bid documents, and they publish that in the bid tabulation. If there's a non-compliance, that bidder then has an opportunity to go to an administrative reconsideration panel, which wasn't applicable in this case. They were deemed compliant, by Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And then the Public Works Department does, as the sponsoring agency, we do our technical review of the bids, which is per, the lowest and best determination as defined by county code. That's the technical review that we perform.
So in that, obviously, you just said that Lenore Lockett's department, it passed through her department, and she deemed it compliant. What was her official response, whether in writing
That is correct.
or compliant?
Yep.
Okay.
And the bid tabulation, I believe, is in the public record on the, as part of the legislation, so yes.
Any further questions?
Through the chair to Mr. Reimer. So different departments need to sign off on contracts. When, after it goes to procurement, when does it show up in DEI department?
Within a couple of days. It's pretty seamless between the purchasing review, which does an initial check on certain documents. It's really just packaging, the bid package that come in are, sometimes very thick, a couple hundred pages. In this case, I believe this bidder's was 125 pages long. So that takes time to scan in and get over to the next department. But it's within only a couple of days of receiving the bid.
And this amount of funding for a project has to be signed off by everyone, right?
Yes, certainly we bear the responsibility as the sponsoring agency for the award recommendation, but all that input is documented from purchasing department and DEI on the singular bid tabulation form.
Thank you.
And any further questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, might I have a request consideration for second reading suspension on this?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded for second reading suspension. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. All right, this time, is there any miscellaneous business? If not, if nothing else holds our attention, our meeting is now adjourned.